The question is how to have an effective strategy. Is it more effective to let each state make a decision as to how to proceed in curbing greenhouse gases? Or is it more effective to have a national strategy? Director Johnson made a decision based upon the fact that we passed a piece of legislation that enables us to have a national strategy. It's one of the benefits of Congress passing this piece of legislation.
Does his argument make some sense that it's better to have a national strategy?
Well, the president is flat out wrong about this because we've always had fuel economy standards for a very long time, and still under the Clean Air Act, California has been granted waivers 50 times. This is a shocking decision, and it is very bad for the environment, for the planet, for the people of our nation. And it's explicitly stated in the Clean Air Act, it's explicitly stated that the type of pollution we're talking about here is covered. And if you want to talk about special circumstances in California, that's an easy case to make. We're talking about a state that is a coastal state, so the sea level rise will absolutely impact us. We're talking about a state that relies on snowpack, and snowpack is disappearing. So what this administration has done, and by the way, if you read the Washington Post today, and I have total confidence in their story, Mr. Johnson's staff, every legal person there, every scientist there, did not go along with this. And it is shocking, and that's why Henry Waxman and I are going to do careful oversight. This is another case of the cheese stands alone. Johnson, who is supposed to head the Environmental Protection Agency, not the Environmental Pollution Agency. Not at all. And as a matter of fact, if he would read the bill, he would see that there's a savings clause in there for the Clean Air Act. It specifically says nothing in this diminishes the rights of the states or anyone else under the Clean Air Act. And Senator Feinstein has an important colloquy, and she says, and I'm quoting it, "In no way, shape, or form should this bill diminish California's rights to get a waiver." So, you know, this thing makes no sense. Everyone is up in arms around the country. Mr. Johnson stands alone, and I will tell you, this is going to be overturned one way or the other.
But they both get at the same issue. I mean, the CO2 emissions and corporate fuel economy are essentially the same thing. It's just a
Even
measure.
though the California state model would have actually regulated the emissions,
Right.
and the federal model only regulates mileage.
Right, but you know how they measure mileage? They measure fuel economy by measuring CO2 emissions from the tailpipe. That's how they do it. They actually measure CO2 emissions from the tailpipe to determine fuel economy. So it's going to be an interesting court case. I think EPA probably will win.
Well, we'll have to leave it there.
EPA's been losing all the time lately, so I don't know what you're talking about. They lost the last case on this, and they'll lose this because they're not on the side of the people and they're not on the side of the law.
Thank you, Senator
Happy
Boxer.
holiday.
Thanks, Senator Boxer and Mr. Homestead. Thank you both.